everyone, I am Razorblade Mango, and before I get into what I want to talk about today, I want to thank everyone that has subscribed to my channel so far. I hit over 200 subscribers about a few days ago, and I was really happy to see that, and I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for those that have supported my videos and given me some of the nicest compliments I've ever received in my life. Really touching, heartwarming stuff. I really appreciate all of the feedback I've been getting from you guys, and I just want to thank everybody. It means a lot to me. But what I want to talk about today is, especially in light of the recent big conferences that have been going on, such as E3 and Gamescom, I've been hearing this word thrown around this past couple of conferences that I think is going to become a big norm now. And the term I'm talking about today is timed exclusivity. So what is timed exclusivity? Timed exclusivity is not exactly, it's like a level beneath a real exclusive, where a company such as Sony or Microsoft can pay a developer an extra amount of money just so their console gets that game first, and then in the process it makes all the other consoles and maybe even the PC wait for it. The most recent examples I can think of is definitely something like Rise of the Tomb Raider. That's under a timed exclusive for Xbox One and Xbox 360. And something also like No Man's Sky, which is going to be on PlayStation 4 first, and then it's going to go on to Xbox One and PC later. So that's becoming a norm this console generation now. And personal feelings aside about it, I was curious what the real exclusives are. And I'm not talking about timed exclusives. I'm talking about stuff like what Halo is to Microsoft, what Uncharted is to Sony. What are the real exclusives for Sony and Microsoft this year? I mean this generation. I'm not going to go over Nintendo's, because Nintendo's, it's so blindingly obvious what their exclusives are that it's pointless. But with all this hoopla about exclusivity and timed exclusivity and all that crap, it can get kind of confusing as to what is a real exclusive. And that's what I'm here today to talk about. I'm going to lay all this on the line, and I'm going to give you guys a list of what is really going to be exclusive for Sony and Microsoft this generation, the games that have been announced so far. And two things. I'm only going to include upcoming games, because it'd be pointless for me to talk about stuff that's been out for almost a year now, that it being a console, a PlayStation 4 or Xbox One exclusive. Also, I'm not going to mention cross-gen games. That doesn't count to me. I'm talking about one console only, not PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3, just PlayStation 4. Not Xbox One and Xbox 360, just Xbox One. Oh, and also a third thing. I'm not going to include remakes or HD remasters. So Ratchet & Clank and Halo, the Master Chief Collection, will not be on this list. So there's that. So let's get this started. I'm actually going to start with Microsoft. I'm gonna give another thing I'm not gonna do. I'm not going to give my personal opinion on what these games are. I'm not here today to debate which console has the better exclusives. I'm not here to debate the quality of each title. I'm just here to give you guys a brief yet comprehensive list of what the exclusives are. So here we go. And if I've missed anything, please let me know. I've tried my best to find everything that I can, but here we go. For Xbox One, and this is going to be in alphabetical order. Starting with Azito, and this is coming from Hamster Corporation. Apparently, this is going to be one of those Japan-only JRPG games, or maybe one of the visual novel games that comes out for them every so often. I don't know much about it, but that's going to be an exclusive. Also, next one is Crackdown 3. that's going to be definitely an Xbox One exclusive. Maybe there's a small chance it could be Xbox 360, but as of now, it's only confirmed for Xbox One, so that's why it's on this list. This game, if you guys haven't played the first and second Crackdown, what this is, it's basically about superpowered police officers or agents that run around a city and take down the gangs that are in it. In the last game, it was like a mixture of mutants, and I think aliens were in it or something like that. This seems to be more of a return to the first game. So you could expect plenty, especially with the next-gen model behind it, you expect plenty of really awesome-looking, maybe dynamic building explosions and wall scaling and jumping. Basically, it's another superhero, super cop game. And that's going to be, if Crackdown 2 didn't sour the goodwill of a lot of people, this should be a success for Microsoft. The next one I want to talk about is D4, Dark Dreams Don't Die. And this is Microsoft's first exclusive episodic game, where I don't know how this is going to work out with them, seeing as how they've kind of buried the Kinect at this point, but we'll see. So this game is about a police officer, I don't know about a police officer, but somebody who is able to travel back in time to certain moments in order to relive them, in order to find out what happened to a loved one of his, solve the mystery of the murder of a loved one. And it was briefly shown last year at E3, and there really hasn't been that much coverage about it since then. Hopefully we'll hear more about it, because this is definitely... I know I said I'm not going to say like personal opinions about it, but it seems like one of the more genuinely intriguing games of Xbox One's lineup. The next one is Dance Central Spotlight from Harmonix, of course, and this is a download-only Dance Central game, where I think they include like just a very select amount of tracks. It's not a full release, but it is going to be only on Xbox One. So, for all you Dance Central fans out there, this is definitely something. If you really are hardcore into these games, Xbox One is going to be the only system that has Spotlight on it. The next one is Fable Legends, and of course, this is more of a dungeon crawler entry in the Fable series. It's a 4 versus 1, and there's a lot of games these days that are following that tradition, like stuff like Evolve, and the new BioWare PC game coming out that I can't remember the name of. So what you do is you can play as either like the 4 heroes or the villain. And what the villain does is construct an environment that is like loaded with monsters, loaded with traps, and it is your job to take down the heroes. Hero's job, of course, is to get through all your traps and survive and take you down if you're playing as the villain. So... And of course, like always, I mean, Fable has never been on PlayStation, so this should be a really obvious exclusive for the Xbox One. The next one is going to be Halo 5 Guardians, of course, developed by 343 Industries. This game is seemingly... It's interesting how they're building this up. Of course, the beta is going to come with the Halo Master Chief Collection, and you're going to get the Nightfall TV show coming out later this year. So, Guardians seems to be building up towards maybe a more cooperative campaign with the new character being introduced. It's probably going to deal with Master Chief recovering from the loss of Cortana, and there's definitely going to be maybe a more sand-based environment with what we saw last year at E3. But we didn't really see that much this year for Guardians, besides like the TV show and moments from the beta. That's kind of about it. For more details on the campaign, we're probably gonna have to wait more towards maybe next year at E3, or maybe they'll reveal something at the Spike VGX or whatever the fuck bullshit they're doing this year. So, and out of all of these, Halo 5 is definitely the big system seller. I mean, objectively, it's like their flagship franchise. It's their franchise that they will sell millions of consoles for, because people love Halo, people love Master Chief, and they will buy an Xbox One for Guardians, or so Microsoft thinks. I don't know. It could be a big flop for all I know, but I highly doubt it, considering the legacy of Halo and its track record. Also, next one we have up is Quantum Break, and this is one of the more interesting games of Xbox One lineup, like D4. It's from Remedy, who did the Alan Wake games, which were really interesting titles. And Quantum Break has kind of been, they've kept their cards close to their chest when it comes to Quantum Break. They've only really shown, it's only very recently at Gamescom did they show actual gameplay for it, where you're able to slow down time and move around the environment. You could zip across the environment using time. You can slow enemies down using time. You can attack enemies with time. And I don't know what the central story is. I assume, from what I saw at Gamescom, it was something that has to do with like the end of the world and all fragments of space and time breaking apart. And you're this guy that's tasked with saving the world. And this could potentially be one of the big new IPs for Xbox One. I'm not sure, considering like they haven't really been marketing it all that well these past few months, but maybe the impression at Gamescom was so high that people are now really starting to get hyped for it. And we'll see. Like all the other things coming out, this could either be a huge success or it could just be underwhelming and the sales numbers aren't there. And we never know. We never know until it comes out. Or one piece of advice I do have to give to Remedy is they need to improve their marketing for this thing, because they've really been doing, like I said, they kept their cards way too close to their chest for way too long. There needs to be more of a public attention for Quantum Break. It needs to be on the same level of exposure as Sunset Overdrive, which I'll talk about later. The next game I want to talk about is Scalebound from Platinum Games. Of course, did Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2. I'm not as familiar with their games. I love Bayonetta. And Scalebound, to me, it looks a lot like a Devil May Cry version of Dragon Riding. I've heard it's an online multiplayer co-op game. Kind of the same, it's like a, not quite a free-to-play, but it is online multiplayer, like Titanfall with dragons. What was interesting, what gave it like a Bayonetta, Devil May Cry feel, is that the character, like, he seems like the snarky, smart-ass kid who put on these gigantic, like, Beats headsets before going off to fight other dragons on his dragon. So it definitely has that Devil May Cry vibe to it. And I am looking forward to seeing what else this game has to offer, considering that it's, interestingly enough, Platinum Games, they, besides the Wii U exclusivity for Bayonetta 2, they aren't known for making like one console games. So there has to be something different about Scalebound, like that has to do with the infinite power of the cloud or some shit like that. So we'll see. One game I'll discuss briefly, because there's really not much to speak of it, is Shape Up from Ubisoft Montreal. This game, it's just a workout game. It's a workout game, like the Kinect Fitness and all this other fitness stuff. It's a workout game. That's all you need to know. And finally, the last game I want to talk about, that's a real exclusive for Xbox One, is the one I personally am most excited for as of now, is Sunset Overdrive, which is, of course, from Insomniac, who did Ratchet & Clank and Resistance. And I give them props for actually, breaking away from Sony and trying to do something new with Microsoft. I personally don't see why this couldn't have been on the PlayStation 4, but you know what? Microsoft put the cash forward for it. Hey, I'm all for it, and it looked great. It looks like a fantastic game. Shit, I keep saying I'm not going to do personal opinions. I can't help it with this game. It looks freaking awesome. It looks like this more mature, adult humor kind of blast 'em game that I've been looking for from Sony, that I haven't really gotten from them. They, honestly, like, to me, their PlayStation 4 exclusives are kind of more, like, darker and more technology-based and wonder. And then the Xbox One seems to be more like a lighthearted feel to it, more of a sense of humor. And that's definitely the case with Sunset Overdrive, where it has lots of breaking the fourth wall, self-referential humor, and I love that kind of shit. So, as someone who doesn't own an Xbox One, if they make more games like Sunset Overdrive, I'll be sold. I'll buy an Xbox One because I really, really want Sunset Overdrive. It looks fantastic. So that's all the Xbox One stuff, exclusive stuff I could drag up. Let's move on to PlayStation 4. First one I'm going to start with is Abzu, from a new studio, Giant Squid, and this comprised the art designer of Journey from that game company and the composer of Journey. This game, and I keep saying, fuck it, I'm going to put my personal opinions in this game. Abzu looks amazing. It looks it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever laid eyes on. I was absolutely floored when they showed it at E3 this year. It looks like, I really like Journey, but this looks even better to me. The oceanic environment, this whole dreamlike soundscape and visual splendor, it just looks like something, pun not intended, I could just soak myself in and become completely absorbed by this atmosphere. It looks amazing, and I hate having to wait until 2016 for this, but hopefully it will be worth the wait. The next game is Alien Nation from House Marquee. These are the guys that did the very, very fun Resogun for a PlayStation 4, and they're back with another top-down, really gory marine alien shooter game, which looks great. I definitely am looking forward to. I think it's like up to 4 friends can play with this thing. It seems like a lot of fun. Seems definitely like one of those games I would get, and my buddies and I would play them. Looks awesome. Bloodborne is the next one, and this is one of the big ones for PlayStation 4. It's one of those games that they are really hoping maybe can turn into like either like a big new IP for them, a new franchise, or just a single one-off game before they return to like Dark Souls 3 or something. But Bloodborne looks fantastic. I'm not the biggest fan of Demon Souls and Dark Souls 2, but Bloodborne, despite looking like almost exactly like the other games, it has this atmosphere that's more my liking, with the whole Victorian Gothic stuff. The creature design is amazing. The music is amazing. The atmosphere is amazing. And the combat, I like that they focus more on like an aggressive stance. It's like bloodier, it's more filthy, it feels more dirty, and it just looks awesome. I'm excited as hell for it. Moving on to one of the more mysterious titles for PlayStation 4 being exclusive is Deep Down by Capcom. This is one of the more, I'm not going to say obscure, it's one of the more secretive ones, because Capcom has released stuff for it, and it seems like just a dungeon crawler kind of thing. Well, not exactly a dungeon crawler. It looks a lot like Demon Souls, but I've heard rumblings that it's something more like Assassin's Creed, where it's really set in the future, but you go through like portals or something in your apartment to go back in time. That seems like a cool idea. I'm not really sure how Capcom's going to pull this off, though. I'm not even really sure what kind of game it is. It seems like a specifically online thing. And hopefully Capcom will reveal more in the future. because Capcom really needs a hit on their hands. They really need it, and hopefully Deep Down is that hit. Another game I'll touch on briefly is Drive Club, and this is of course like the long delayed game, the big new racing franchise for Sony. Personally, someone who's not that big into racing, it's kind of one of those things where I look at it and go, okay, whatever. But the thing I do like about Drive Club is they are going to offer a version of it that's free for PlayStation Plus users, and that is really cool. I will definitely give it a shot. I mean, it's free. What the hell? I might as well. But whether or not I buy the full game, if it's that good, remains to be seen. The next one I want to talk about is Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Now, this is one of the more interesting ones. From Sony, it's a collaboration between Sony Santa Monica, of course, the God of War, and Chinese Room. This game, I've heard it's about, like, it focuses on certain people, and they are surviving in the midst of an apocalyptic cataclysm that's about to happen to Earth. So it's like their last days on this planet, being like trying to search for people or make the most of what little life they have left. And it seems like a really fascinating concept as to what they are going to do with this. And seeing as how Sony Santa Monica is behind it, I'm really excited for this. And I've never played any other games from the Chinese Room, but I would definitely give them a shot, just to prepare myself for maybe like what the vibe of Everybody's Gone to the Rapture is going to be. Next one is Let It Die from Suda51 and Grasshopper Manufacture. This is one of the more surprises of last E3 because Suda51, even though most of his games for me are like, he's a mixed bag. I mean, there's stuff I really like Shadows of the Damned and Lollipop Chainsaw, and then there's stuff like Killer's Dead, and it really doesn't. Some of the stuff doesn't do much for me. Some of the stuff really hits it home. This one seems like one of those games that's gonna hit it home. It's a free to play online fighter, where even when you're not fighting, the game will actually pick up like your playing style and create like it's your own avatar to go out and fight other characters while you're away from your PlayStation 4. And then when you come back, you will receive like the experience and the rewards for your avatar fighting other people, which seems like something Microsoft is doing with Forza. Oh, god damn it. That's another one. How did I forget that? Forza Horizon 2. That's another Xbox One exclusive. Sorry about that, guys. Fuck, I just realized that. I feel dumb. Okay, back to Let It Die. This seems like something that Microsoft is doing with Forza, where even when you're away from your console, your play style becomes uploaded into a cloud-based like gaming, and your avatar goes out and fights other people, and you get the rewards for it. I'm not sure if I like that, because you could level up really easily for doing nothing. There's really no work being put into it. But hey, if people like it, then so be it. Let them have it. I will definitely be trying out this game, especially since it's free to play. A Suda51 fighter game, though, definitely sounds cool. It looks like a fighter version of Manhunt, the really infamous Rockstar series. But this will be cool, and hopefully Suda51 can pull off one of those games that hits home for me. The next one I want to talk about is The Order 1886 from Ready at Dawn. This thing has been being marketed for months on end with people like King Arthur is being involved. It's the King Arthur mythology mixed with steampunk, mixed with the technology revolution, industrial revolution, stuff like that. And apparently, werewolves are involved, or at least man beasts or the hunted, or whatever the hell they're calling them, the infected, the lichens, and honestly, I'm cautiously skeptical about this, cautiously optimistic, because while it looks great, and I think they're getting the atmosphere, they have the right idea, they have a great concept, but I don't know if the gameplay is going to be a step in the right direction. It looks like Gears of War. And I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'll have to wait and see when the game comes out. I'm also, like I said before, I'm really disappointed that this game, because when you see the trailer from last E3, this game looks like a co-op game where you and up to 3 other people can take the role of these knights and fight wave after wave of monsters and have a 4-player co-op campaign. How fucking awesome would that be? But no, it's not. It's a 1-player, linear, cinematic-based story, which is fine, but I don't feel like they're really grasping this concept's full potential, which is what makes me skeptical about this game. But we'll see. I could be wrong. This could end up being like a masterpiece. This could be like the new God of War for Sony, and they just make tons of critical acclaim and money off this thing. We'll wait and see. The next one is one of the most, like Abzu, one of the most beautiful looking games, is Rime. And they debuted like the first trailer for it at Gamescom. And it's from Tequila Works. And what this game basically is, you are this kid that is stranded on an island. And he must find a way to escape it, discover its secrets and mysteries and hidden stuff. This game looks a lot like, it's kind of a mixture of Eco, except without the companion stuff, where you are like the boy from Eco, of course without the horns as well, in the world of, say, the Wind Waker. It looks, the art style especially, the cel-shaded graphics, makes it look a lot like Wind Waker. And I mean that with the highest compliment I can think of. It looks beautiful. I think the usage of like vertical environments is great, where you actually get to, it's an open island, it's an open world. You get to explore like the wildlife. There's different kinds of, like I said, different kinds of secrets. There's like a big mysticism factor to it, which I really gravitate towards much more than like the generic shoot 'em up military stuff. And the racing, I gravitate more towards mysticism and atmosphere and exploring places that I've never seen before. I love that kind of shit. And Rime seems to be one of those games that's going, like Abzu, that is going to fill that quotient for me. The next game is The Tomorrow Children. And this is from Q Games, of course, made the Pixel Junk stuff. I mean, when I first saw this, I kind of went, honestly. I really was not all that crazy about it, was not all that impressed. But, I gotta say, the more I learn about it, the more I like it, and the more interesting I think it is, especially if it's going to be multiplayer. This goes to show that indie games are becoming more interesting than most AAA games. I mean, we all bitch and complain that Sony doesn't bring enough AAA games to PlayStation Plus, but honestly, I would take something like Towerfall Ascension and stick it to the man over Knack or Killzone. I really don't care about those games. Give me smaller games with a lot more originality and intrigue, and The Tomorrow Children seems to be one of those games. What the object of this game is humanity is dead, and from what I heard, humanity is dead. It's all the world is under control by this evil corporation, and you are like this different band of creatures that must form together and recreate the world and defeat this evil. And it just looks interesting. Like, that's one of the things, when I see the trailer now, I go, ooh, this looks cool. This is something I might want. And hopefully, because I'm not the biggest Pixel Junk fan, even though I did quite like the one that they released for free on PlayStation Plus for PS4. This game looks interesting, and I will be checking it out. The next game I want to talk about is one of maybe the biggest exclusive they're going to have right now. And that's, of course, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. What is there to say about this that hasn't already been said? It's like the Indiana Jones of gaming. Naughty Dog is like Sony's bread and butter. Not exactly bread and butter, but like their biggest, most successful, profitable company. Whenever Naughty Dog puts a game out, people flock to that shit. People call it a masterpiece. The Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3, Last of Us, the last 3 games are considered like the best, some of the best games, not only for this generation, but for any generation. And Uncharted 4 looks awesome. Like, the graphics, the best I've ever seen. And the gameplay is always great. And this seems to be like a darker Uncharted, which I like. Even though they are claiming that it's going to be the same lighthearted feel, I do think there is going to be like a darker element to this game. And it definitely has Nathan Drake dealing with growing old and not exactly being the spring chicken he used to be. So this could be a really great opportunity to explore Nathan Drake as a character, especially if he's still married to Elena, and it's hinted at that he has a family now, so he could have like a son or a daughter. He could have both a son and a daughter, and Elena, they could get kidnapped. He has to go reunite with Sully and get them back. And he, like you said, one last time, and like the subtitle suggests, A Thief's End. One last time. And if this really is the last game in the Uncharted series, it's going to go out with a bang. I just know it. It's going to be bittersweet, but it will also give Naughty Dog an opportunity to focus on like the new IP I've heard they've been working on, which of course will be announced one of these days, and it will be announced to thunderous applause, and when it comes out, it will probably be great. And I look forward to Uncharted 4 in the meantime. The next one is Until Dawn, and from Supermassive Games. This was going to be released on the PS3 using the Move. And when that idea was scrapped, they went back to the drawing board and remade it for the PlayStation 4. And it's a game that focuses, it's like an old horror movie from like the 80s, where it's this group of or any era, where this group of teenagers goes up to a cabin to spend a vacation there. A serial killer hunts them, and they need to learn to survive and escape and do whatever it means, whatever is necessary. So, I guess, my reaction mostly to this game, because they were teasing the hell out of this for Gamescom, and when it was revealed, I felt really underwhelmed by it. I felt like they should have been hyping up a different kind of game instead of this. It just does not look all that interesting to me. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of horror stuff, except, I have my exceptions, because I love Outlast, and I love that PT teaser for Silent Hills that Kojima and Del Toro are doing, which I'm so pumped for. Third-person horror is a different story. I don't know. There's just something about it being first-person that makes me more creeped out and frightened. But when it's third-person, I feel a certain detachment from whatever's going on. So, I'm skeptical about Until Dawn. And we'll see. Next game I want to talk about is from Michael Answer, who of course made Rayman and Beyond Good and Evil. He opened up a new independent studio called Wild Sheep, and their first game is called Wild. And I think it looks great. The trailer for it, of course, it doesn't look like a stereotypical caveman thing where you are a hunter in this environment that has like talking skeletons and 100 feet people, and you explore underwater, you explore underground, and according to it, it's an online multiplayer game where you can be any species in the world that you want. If you want to play as a monkey, so be it. If you want to play as a skeleton, so be it. If you want to play as a wolf, so be it. It's up to you. And especially that it's being developed exclusively for the PlayStation 4, it has a lot of potential to really harness the excuse me, harness the power of next gen and to make it really special. And finally, the last game on the list is Without Memory. And this is one of those I don't really know that much about, beyond, of course, like the title. You don't have any memory, so boo-hoo, you gotta go out and find whoever stole your memory, whoever did it, and that's basically it. So this is a list of these to reiterate. These are games for whatever category of console I put them under. These games are only going to be coming to either PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. Not this timed exclusive crap, not Xbox One and PC, but real exclusives. Real potential system-selling exclusives. And I hope I've cleared the air for a lot of people. I'm sorry if some of the games you thought were going to be exclusive to your console are not, but I just wanted to make this to clear the air and to lessen the confusion, because timed exclusivity is going to be very, very common this generation. And hopefully not with AAA games, because I think Rise of the Tomb Raider is setting a dangerous new standard for the industry. But I'll probably make a video about that later on. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe. Let me know if there are any games that I missed out. What games are you looking forward to the most that's exclusive for PlayStation 4 or Xbox One? Let me know. And thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.